to the stream of the only person in the world who predicted the market correctly since the end of the last months. At the end of the last months, I told you already that we will be having a new all-time high this month in Bitcoin and Ethereum. We will see if this will be happening. I also predicted approval of Ethereum ETF. It did not happen yet, but we will figure this out. We will talk about what I am actually doing personally, currently, how I am planning regarding the fact of the approval of Ethereum ETF, what I will be doing personally with my portfolio. We'll check out the opinion of different people. We'll talk about Ethereum betas and what I think awaits us on the marketplace. Narratives I think will be running, coins that I think will be running, because I longed some things even this day, and I think I was making some buys these days as well. And we'll also talk about how your government loves you and how I was right about your government blocking you from buying, and essentially about this whole fear, this whole like market being scared currently. It's still so exciting. It's interesting to me to actually see that, how human psychology actually works currently and how everyone is still scared shitless. Without further ado, let's start. This is the liquidity cycle. So here we can essentially see that we are at the start of the new liquidity cycle. Liquidity cycles are something that are running actively since 2008, but really before as well. And since 2008, we have 4-year liquidity cycles. We are at the start of the liquidity cycle for Bitcoin, for cryptocurrency currently. And we are about to enter into the parabolic move with the whole thing. I do think that we will be actually entering this. Here we also can see that we are kind of entering this summer banana zone, as they're essentially saying. And we were in the spring. After summer, unfortunately, will come fall as well. This is the time to actually just sit comfortably on your backs, and as well make sure that you are positioned, because there is still time to position yourself. And for some ecosystems, for example, for Solana memes or ecosystems, I do expect for them to maybe, I'm not sure, go a little bit lower, because of more and more attention will be sucked by Ethereum ecosystem. But this is how you should be actually playing this market. You should be positioned in Ethereum stuff already. You should have some stables on the side, or maybe you will be taking some profits from Ethereum ecosystem. And when Solana stuff, Solana memes, they will go down, you should actually be buying them, because most of the degeneracy, most of people, most of like very, very non-experienced market participants, they will be there, and they are easiest people to take money from. Unfortunately, this market is zero-sum game, and we are taking money from each other. Everyone expects Ethereum to run, everyone expects Ethereum ETF approval to happen, and it's very, very interesting, because through the last several months, we actually, like last couple months, do you remember the news? Do you remember what was coming from different countries? Like Russia is banning Bitcoin, China is doing something, US is very, very negatively focused on crypto. And I was telling you that this is all a psyop. This is all a manipulation, because frankly speaking, when I am putting myself on the places of these people, maybe if I would have same type of morals, I would be doing the same thing. And I honestly think that I will have a chance in my life to be in the place of these people. So don't be bad with Stan, right? A video that I actually wanted to turn on and show, I will just mute myself for a second and we will watch this video, something that I was saying pretty much 3 weeks ago. Very, very interesting video as well. I do think that too many people actually sold. I actually would want to wish all the best to your portfolio if you sold. Rest in peace, right? And I think you might just be buying higher, because things you have to understand, right? You behave like all these governments, all these people in power, they only want the good for you, right? They all are screaming this news about Japan, about Russia banning Bitcoin, about US SEC and different lawsuits, about Europe essentially creating limits for crypto, about Canada as well. They obviously are only telling this to you because they have your best interest in mind, right? That's the main thing that they care about, the main thing they actually work for. Not because they want to take as much as control they want from you, not because they actually want to make you as poor as they only can, not because they want to actually make you a slave, not because they actually want to send you to work to die, right? Their actions are definitely not directed into that direction, right? They definitely want you rich, free, so you can travel, so you can do what you want, so you can actually not be a slave and receive satisfaction from life, right? And all this FUD is created specifically so you would know they are actually telling you, hey, here is, it will probably go down, just sell your thing, we want you to be safe, right? We want you to be safe, so we will essentially go down so you can buy back more, so you would actually be able to make some money, so you will be rich, because we want to actually see you rich. We want to see you free. We want to see you satisfied. We don't want you to be our slave working in Matrix. We don't want to send you to war, right? Man, it's so crazy. Market does not understand what is happening currently, and you need to understand what is actually happening. And my channel, my goal is for you to... You actually need to understand what is happening. Like, it's so crazy. It's hilarious in the first place. And it's so crazy because just concentrate the sentiment. It was like people who want to capture you in prisons, like in captivity, just make you working slave. They're screaming that we are going down, it's all bad and things like it was so easy to understand. It's so crazy. And partially they actually achieving the goal, because I think the psyop actually continues, because the whole thing is happening so fast on purpose for people to not be able to adapt. Because you are here, you are watching this stream, you are blessed because you are actually here. Imagine, you cannot fathom like what is the amount of people that are actually not paying attention, that are actually sidelined, that are here in crypto but they're not watching this, they're watching something else. Imagine what is the amount of people out there that are still maybe listening to the bears, that are still thinking that we will be seeing like a recession or something, and still follow this news that were shared with them like couple weeks before. It's just so crazy in the first place, because frankly speaking, it's quite hard to actually adapt in a couple of days, because we just got this news about potential approval, I think a couple days before, right? It's all done on purpose. It's done on purpose so the least amount of people possible would actually be able to make money on this. They need the least amount of people possible rich, because they can't control the rich. And even if we would be making too much money from crypto, even if there would be too many people rich from crypto, right? I think they will still inflict certain limitations, certain frames. Like the one thing that I'm saying, that I really think that there might be certain issues with withdrawing your cash from crypto at the end of this cycle. I think you should be very careful with the profits that you are making, and you should definitely figure out the infrastructure, figure out the setup on how you can safely withdraw hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, from crypto, moving further into the cycle. I think that this is something that might be happening. And obviously, there would be a typical type of thing of how market is robbing people that don't know what are they doing. It will be too bullish. It will be too bullish, and it will drop very quickly. Very quickly, especially in terms of meme coins. But I don't think that we are there currently. I think we are just entering. We are just entering our summer. We are just entering. And the fact that the sentiment on the market is so bearish, because its sentiment on crypto Twitter is the sentiment of how it's the sentiment in people who are here actively, and they are so bearish, right? And even when I'm saying bullish, like emotionally, internally, I'm kind of stressed. So it's very nice thing to understand your emotions, because I'm doing one thing at the same time I understand that, oh, like Stan, you just bought into like these shit meme coins on Solana. What if they go down? One more time, you will be just losing money and things like that. These type of thoughts, they're sitting there. Your goal is to control yourself. Like, we're at a very interesting edge on the market, and you cannot fathom the amount of people that were actually entering or coming back into the market in March, in April, and through the dump, they just sold and they left. They're not here anymore. They're not interested anymore. And they will be coming back once we will be reversing quite soon. And a very, very interesting thing is the goal of the manipulator is to make sure that reversal is actually happening quick, because there is a reason Ethereum ETF is pretty much getting approved in a couple days. Tell me, are these fucking governments ever work so fast? Did you ever see the government, any governmental organization, work so fast, approve fucking ETF in 2 days? It's all psyop in the first place. The reason they're making it quick, for people not to actually be able to seize the opportunity, because you have to be fucking insane. You have to be insane to hold through these dips, or you just have to have a bunch of experience. And if you have a bunch of experience, they're probably fine with you making some money, because you're definitely paid in years, in money, in order to be able to have this type of experience, to hold through these things. And they should definitely be pumping this thing up quick to make sure that there won't be a lot of people who would be able to catch the pump. There won't be a lot of people. They don't need a lot of people rich, obviously. They just need to pump the whole thing quick. They need to let to know exit liquidity about the pump. They need to spend hundreds and billions of dollars in marketing to actually attract these people and to them take profits on these people as well. But I don't think that current pump will be the first one. So I think we will go up. I think we will have our alt season. I think that we are getting our all-time high for Ethereum. That this is definitely will cause the alt season, and then we will see what will be happening. Like even us, like 50,000 guys in crypto Twitter getting rich. There are a bunch of people who are just watching after this whole thing, but they don't have enough capital, or they're not insane enough to have substantial amount of capital in the market to actually be able to get rich from it. So it's like what, maybe less than 10,000 people getting rich, and at the same time they're getting the opportunity to dump billions of dollars on retail. I would take it every hour, every day. And the interesting thing is that they were buying at the lows. They're not buying currently. Like we're already quite in the middle of the whole thing. Like BTC is $70,000 already, but I do think that we're actually going to 700K this cycle, right? But that's something that you won't probably think on and believe. And it's only should be happening if the like climate, if the atmosphere is very, very right for BTC. Very, very interesting scenario. How I'm planning to trade the whole Ethereum ETF process. Max loan before the approval, wait for the approval, use green candle and sell that, buy the dip after big inflow news come out, sell the grayscale outflow narrative, finally buy the grayscale outflow stopping. This is very interesting. It pretty much got a bunch of views, and it got a bunch of bookmarks as well. And interesting thing is that grayscale outflows, they might either be priced into the market, or market participants, they already experienced that with BTC, and they already saw that, yeah, they will probably have the outflows, but after the outflows, it will be right, it will just go up anyway. So people will probably be front running the outflows and maybe buying, like if someone would actually plan to kind of max loan and then sell and then buy the dip and then sell and then buy, it's too fucking complex in the first place. And the fact that it got so many views means that it was adopted and it's liked by a bunch of people. It means that a bunch of people are thinking the same way as well, which means that there is no fucking upside there. No fucking upside. If 100,000 people see this and they plan to do the same thing, it means that there is no upside. The only reason there might be any upside if we will be getting a bunch of liquidity, a large inflow of retail into the market with the approval of ETF, with the BTC new all-time high, things like that. And I do think that this might be actually happening. Maybe not right away, not soon, but at the same time, they are acting quick, and they should be acting quick. They should be acting quick with the pump as well. They're creating, like, they are liquidating people who are entering late loans. They're creating this bearish sentiment, and hot candle should be quick to make sure that not a lot of people will be able to seize the opportunity in the first place, because this is something they pretty much want to do in the first place, right? Me personally, I'm just holding. Like, I'm not going to buy, sell. Like, what the fuck? Like, I already closed my Pepe loan, and I'm not feeling all right about that because I do think that Pepe might be going way higher. I was re-entering loan higher with $400,000 positional leverage. Unfortunately, I did close that as well, and I decided to reposition in more risky things in the first place, right? And at the same time, I have a lot of exposure to Pepe through other things and through Ethereum betas, right? But at the same time, I saw one interesting thing from Andrew Kruger, I think today, a tweet. I was not able to find it for this stream, but he was saying that traders are making a mistake of entering beta plays too early. They should be running with the main play for as much time as they only can and only then be repositioning. And main play currently is obviously Ethereum and Pepe as well, because Pepe is following Ethereum very, very nicely. So I kind of lost on that trend at the same time. But my thought process is that when Ethereum will be surging up and when Pepe will be surging up, other things will probably surging up as well. I don't envision this scenario in the marketplace where Ethereum is pumping, Pepe is pumping, and everything else just stays the same. So they will be gaining certain market cap anyway. And if I want to get the full move, the full appreciation liquidity, I need to be positioned in these things right away. But yeah, I don't think that I've actually done the right thing with closing my Pepe loan, but you know, we are on the market and we are learning. Ethereum ETF news only 10 hours away. This thing was shared 6 or 7 hours my time, so we would actually see in 2 to 3 hours if this is going to get approved. I was saying it's going to get approved. I will continue saying it's going to get approved just because of the fact that, yeah, I was pretty much the only one who was saying that. Yeah, this is from the guy, one of the followers, probably subscribers. You made 2 predictions, Ethereum approval and all-time high for Ethereum and BTC by the end of the month, and it looks both will happen. Crazy that there are people not listening to you, that they don't believe you, poor people. Poor, I think, not in the sense of that they're poor, but in the sense that they're, I think, losing the advantage, right? Haha, this is the time where it's highest upside on listening to me. Once everyone knows, there will be zero upside. Yeah, and that's one of the issue of why listening to large influencers kind of, it does not provide you with a bunch of upside in the first place. I'm listening to large influencers to understand the market sentiment because there is a reason they are larger. They know how to explain and focus on something that the audience wants at this stage, right? Token is pumping, an ecosystem is pumping, and if you're a large influencer, you're kind of forced to talk about this thing, because if you won't be talking about this thing, your competition will be talking about this thing, which will lead to the fact that no one will fucking care about what you have to say, and you're forced, you're pretty much forced to talk about big things. And when things are big, there is zero fucking upside in them. So it's very, very interesting. You can just check out crypto channels with not a lot of views and you will be getting crazy alpha. That's like the basic rule of counter trading. Just check out crypto channels with the low amount of views, low amount of subscribers. Some of them, they have low amount of subscribers because they were never right and they are new and they generally don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But some that have maybe a lot of subscribers, which means that they were right, at least like several times, and they don't have a lot of views. Maybe they scam people here and there, maybe they were wrong many times, but they still have it in them, right? So it might be interesting to actually check out what they have to say. And we're coming back to Solana. A lot of people are bashing Solana, and I was making fun on Solana like a couple days ago, very, very much. Just of all the situation with Solana guys like, oh, I'm leaving to Ethereum, don't leave to Ethereum, the memes are going down, things like that. As mentioned, as Arthur Hayes essentially was saying himself, who is a crypto billionaire, he's buying Solana when he thinks that the market is going up. He's selling when he thinks that the market is going down. Solana is an ultimate leverage degeneracy play on the market. And Solana memes, they are like quadrupled this ultimate degenerate play on the market. So you definitely cannot neglect it. I was mid-curving it for so much time. Right now, I think I invested 200k in Solana meme coins. I have around 200k in Solana meme coins. In terms of game theory, the main problem with Solana is that it's one big prisoner's dilemma. Both players would win if they both choose hold. Hold but the payoff for either of them is greater if the other player holds and he JITs. The other player also knows this, so would never hold herself. JIT, if you don't know, it means someone who's selling prematurely, early, right? 20% up, he's selling. 2x up on the meme coin, he's selling. So the only stable equilibrium in this game is JIT. Hold, JIT and JIT. Hold are as unstable as hold. So what happens is that all players JIT because he who JITs first wins. At the best of times, Solana manages to be somewhat of a stack hunt scenario, where the payoffs for hold are so great that players actually do this, but it's rare. I think I was sharing in one of the videos as well, this thing that was saying each time you round trip a token, you're actually closer to buying your own island. It makes so much fucking sense, because highest upside in the industry, as I was saying from day one on this channel, is to hold memes that will greatly appreciate in value. If you would talk to people that made 7 figures, multiple 6 figures this cycle from meme coins, they are saying that most money they made from aping into something under 100k, aping $1,000 to $3,000, and just hold to their lives. And if this token is getting appreciated, they are making so much money. You don't need to actively trade. And it's a very, very simple and stupid strategy. Like, what you might be doing, you might allocate yourself like 100k. You might do a 30-day challenge. Invest $3,000 on a daily basis into Solana memes, and just go on Dex Screener every day and check what are the new memes. They are more risky because there are a bunch of scams, and what are maybe older memes under 100k that are starting to turn up with a proper narrative in the first place. And you can just be throwing 3k into 3-4 memes on a daily basis, and most likely you would actually hit something that will get you into 7 figures, especially currently. That's like the most stupid thing. And obviously I'm talking about 100k, but you might want to do this with 10k as well. If you would be just throwing like 100 to 200 to 300 bucks into low caps, you would probably be making money on that. So JITs, they will suffer, man. In this market, in things that are going to unfold, in how they are manipulating the whole thing, how quick they actually need to operate currently. It's so fucking funny, like government doing something in 2 days. Did you ever see the government actually doing something in 2 days? It's so fucking funny. So they need to act quick. Yeah, they need to pump those bags quick to this small amount of people, very, very small amount currently, people who left. It shows by the views on different channels. A lot of people who are viewing, maybe they're out of the market because they're scared. A lot of people, they might be sitting in some garbage that will not pump. I'm sitting in some garbage myself that will not pump. Most likely, I probably have like maybe around $50,000, even if not like 100k in garbage that might not pump. Just like, if it will pump, it will be doing quite well, right? But it's a bad short-term mindset, because I found myself that I was impatient. I initially was longing different things, and then I changed my longs in the process. I was longing Sui, then I longed Pepe, and then I've done something else. And if I would just kept Pepe long, yeah, I would be doing quite nicely currently. Definitely better than I'm doing right now with the memes that I bought. So they might be performing stronger and making me more money long term, but I am kind of complicating things in the first place, because even with Sui long, like 2x on Sui for me would be like $540,000. And imagine what type of things, like how much I actually need to be right to make $540,000 on meme coins with initials of like 150k to 100k. And yeah, it's definitely the game where patient just win in the first place, because I just thought I wanted to make more because I'm on a daily basis in this market, and in the process I might be able to achieve the same result, but in the process I might be losing a bunch of money as well. I'm just thinking that maybe I would be able to hit something that will go to like crazy billions, and I'm holding my things. I'm not selling my things in the first place. which definitely leads to the fact in some cases where I'm just holding it to zero, right? Yeah, bro, basically yesterday Ethereum increased its market cap by 80 billion in one candle, which is the entire market cap of Solana. Just shows how much room to grow Sol has. And on-chain metrics keep pointing to more activity on Solana versus Ethereum. You see Sol market cap gradually catch up Ethereum market cap. Bookmark it. This is the guy who's actively trading Solana meme coins, and this is something I just wanted to share. This is something I thought is quite funny in my video before yesterday, of how they're essentially coping with the current situation, with the JITs jitting and living their memes at this stage. But as mentioned, I do expect Solana to start to perform quite nicely as well. So Ethereum might suck up some attention, but it's interesting that the whole market is scared at this stage. We're definitely in risk-off environment. And I was telling you, and I will tell you one more time, this is the environment to be risk-on. This is the environment to definitely be risk-on. I put my money into like worst garbage shit you will never put your money in. And I am betting on Solana degens having too much money, on people with lower IQ having too much money to serve as my exit liquidity in the next months. It's definitely a very, very risky bet, but if it will play out, I will capitalize heavily. This is the bet that I'm essentially making myself currently at this stage. And I'll probably be better off just longing Papa, just longing Sui. That's just how I decided to play it. I do think it's wrong to a certain extent. At the same time, I have long some interesting things that I already shared in my private Discord, so I think it's fine to share it here. I longed big time. I opened quite a large position out there. Pretty much crashed, just called it. Yeah, apologies for the lags, for the fact that it's loading for so much time. I'm just on MacBook Air, so Crash pretty much just called this thing in the morning, and he said that it was like a vision, because he actually woke up in the night and he said that he will belong in this thing. And I do tend to believe these things because I'm getting them myself from time to time, all right? And part of the things I was thinking as well is that who is the influencer that people will actually be following in the risk-on environment? What is the narrative that was consolidating for quite some time that people will actually be following in the risk-on environment? And I was saying it several times already, I don't think that AI will actually be showing numbers because it's a bit overheated. I do think the largest upside is actually in gaming. Alex Becker already shared that he'll be doing like 4 videos in upcoming months or something, but the guy often does not make a video that he actually promises to do in the first place. It's also very, very interesting Ethereum beta in the first place because they're on Ethereum. The game is from the people who, some of them, they were working on World of Warcraft. They have an interesting ecosystem internally that their items are NFTs, but you actually don't need to pay for commissions because you're only paying when you're withdrawing them on chain. I remember this from reading this in the last cycle, because in the last cycle they were just pretty much like there was a bunch of talk about this project, and I remember I was buying their NFT passes from OpenSea that eventually got to 0 as well. The thing that I like is obviously that the crash called the whole thing. It definitely rhymed with me as well. I am bullish on gaming currently. The only thing is not to get liquidated, because through the current situation, they will definitely want you to get liquidated as well. That's what we see currently. All these movements, the fact that this bearish sentiment still is on the marketplace. Like in this type of scenario, influencers are actually your friends. They are telling you it's bullish. They are telling you to be bullish. Manipulator, the global manipulator, essentially someone who is within the government of the US with largest organizations. He is the one who is keeping this bearish sentiment. Right now, influencers are actually your friends. They are not the servants of the slave master right now, right? And I do think it's quite crazy to actually have something available for leverage, which is 150 million market cap. I do think it's actually like a cheat code that you might be using. Like if you just find things that are very, very low market cap, just long leverage them, they will be doing multipliers. You will be doing crazy numbers on leverage. I don't understand why this is allowed. I don't understand why some projects are actually not capped. if I would be running an exchange, I would probably say that like only projects with 700 billion plus market cap are available for leverage trading, because this is just crazy. Like this thing, if it would be doing 3-4x, someone with leverage, he would be doing like 25-30x. That's just crazy in the first place. So we will see what will be happening with this thing. The main thing for me is not to get liquidated. I do like this peak, and it rhymed with me very, very well, because I was thinking for several days already, after we got our pump on Monday, I'm constantly thinking, what is the thing that retail will be buying? What is the thing that will help me to capitalize the most? The only issue, the only pain that I feel currently is that I closed my Pepe longs, is that I will be losing this liquidity in the process, because yeah, I'm not longing the main thing currently, because I think that main thing obviously we will be running first, and then you will have a small amount of time to actually be able to reposition from other things into lower caps as well. Yeah, Ethereum itself also does not lock. This is something I actually wanted to show as well. So here we have Bitcoin dominance, right? And yeah, I'm sorry guys, it's lagging. This is the support level for Bitcoin dominance. And what we see is that we actually had our small week down. Can you see it? These small pinos, right? Right here. Our smallest week down. It's not that small already. If you would actually check out, it's like how much? 1% in Bitcoin dominance. That's interesting. That's a very, very interesting sign at this stage, because it can mean that we essentially broke through this level, right? And we will be going down. And that means that we will be having our alt season. And as mentioned, I do expect us to have our alt season. And what helps me to understand that all these things that they most likely will be happening is the sentiment. I love this sentiment so much. I love my fear inside me, myself as well. I love this feeling, because I remember in the last cycle when I had 200k in my portfolio at the highs, from 140k of my own money that I invested. I remember this thing going as low as $15,000. I remember this feeling of checking out once in several days the portfolio that I had and just seeing the number go down and down and down and just hold it, because I believe that this thing they will reverse and they will go up eventually. And I remember this feeling of losing money, of me being wrong. And I kind of have the same feeling currently when I'm buying into these like shit low caps that have quite a low chance of actually pumping and succeeding. These are very, very degenerate bets in the first place. Very, very degenerates. But at the same time, I do think that we have a chance of them working out. And it's not something that I'm kind of figure out fully myself. I also got them from the market, from people who are trading Solana meme coins and things like that. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting what we will be having in June, what we will be seeing. And I do honestly like that I have the same feeling of pain inside me of losing the money one more time. I'm risk on. I'm as risk on as you can only imagine. And time to be risk off would be at the highs. I'm actually quite anxious at the highs. I saw myself at the highs and I was actually quite anxious. When Bubble was at the absolute like local top, like 140, 150 million, I was anxious as fuck. Very anxious. And then it went down and I started to feel calm as well. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting situation as well. So, in terms of the whole overview, I think this is pretty much it. I do expect for the move to be quick because they need to leave out as many people as they only can. I do think that if you did not buy yet, you need to buy. I would not suggest to trade anything to try to buy or sell. I don't think that you can predict the movements currently because we kind of had some things happening around BTC ETF, but it was different. People knew for several months before that we will have that, and that's why it was sell the news event. Right now, everyone is scared shitless. And only 2 days ago, we got to know that maybe it will get approved. Obviously, if you were not watching my channel, because if you were watching my channel, you got input 2 weeks ago that it will get approved because I'm the president of the United States, right? And in terms of your coins that will be doing well, because we did not talk about that much, I will have a video on this, but it's kind of obvious in the first place. As mentioned, Pepe, Bobo, and Snibu. I do think that Pepe have something to run. Some people are saying that it will go like as high as 3x from here short term. And if you would think about like Ethereum being in all-time highs, this is something that might be happening actually. And if this will be happening, man, I will feel like so much pain. But at the same time, probably this liquidity will be coming into Bobo, it will be coming into Snibu. It will be just very, very painful for me to watch this going up after I unfortunately closed my longs in the first place. Your Ethereum layer 2s like Optimism, Starknet, Arbitrum, they should be doing well. Something that I showed you like Big Time, Immutable X, Beam. The interesting thing is that they're Ethereum ecosystem projects in the first place. And I was watching Big Time today. It exactly is following the chart of Ethereum. Exactly. Like point to point. This is something I actually liked as well, because if you are watching Ethereum beta, this is something that you want to see from Ethereum beta. And ideally Ethereum beta would be outperforming Ethereum. And people are scared shitless. Each and every green candle just getting sold on right away, just getting removed, killed. People are scared. Manipulator is doing his job very, very fucking well. And I am fully exposed, and I am fully exposed in the most degenerate shit, into the degenerate shit that most of you will actually allow themselves to buy into, closer to the exact local top, closer to the pump. BTC is 80k, Ethereum is $5,000, Solana is at all-time high, everyone is very, very nice, and you would allow yourself to only get into the degenerate shit at that time, where it should be already a risk-off environment. I'm in this degenerate shit already, myself. We will see if it will be playing out. I would say it has a high chance of playing out in the first place. And my other positions, they're essentially allowing me to behave like this as well. I have my Bobo, I have some other memes that I think will be doing well, like Andy on Blast. So it's kind of it adds safety that allows me to be a degenerate at this stage. And I obviously have money on the sides. I have other sources of income, so that definitely helps as well. Yeah, maybe a bit much talking, 40 minutes at this stage. Let's actually move to Q&A. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them into the chat. And yeah, let's actually check out what is happening. Yeah, I'm sorry about the video, guys. I should probably update my setup because yeah, that's not human existence. Monthly, nah, I don't know much about it. I'm sorry. On Bybit, Mantle Inu, don't know much. It's already 9 months old. Yeah, don't know much. And on Blast, yeah, I think it should be doing well. I think in terms of Blast, I actually wanted to share something as well. Something crazy if you're in the industry. Friend built an application on Blast that earned $380,000 in revenue over 3 weeks. No token, just pure fizz baby. The main reason for something like this to be available is the fact that Blast is giving back 100% of the fees generated by the project to the developer, which is crazy. Meanwhile, my enterprise SaaS friends are grinding hard to break 100k annual recurrent revenue of the most boring, dry tech imaginable. Study having fun. They're just so crazy. Like when you understand these things, because I am in this business. We're making software for a bunch of SaaS products. We're working with a bunch of SaaS founders in the first place. It's actually crazy to understand that something like this is available currently. Engineers will come, everything else will come after them. Like, this is why I'm saying that like Amazon and Apple and Facebook, they're trillion-dollar companies. The main reason for that is because they are given option to make money for other people in the ecosystem as well. This is just crazy in the first place, like for something like this to actually be available. I do think that Blast will be winning the Ethereum layer 2 race, and it will essentially be, Andy will be doing very, very well because it's like one of the top trending memes on Blast for many, many months. Good to see you live, man. Sure, you really are one of the few genuine and honest people in space full of shillers. Keep up the great work, L4G. Thanks. Hi Stan, great call Sunday, great buy call Sunday, sure. I was calling to buy not only on Sunday, but through the whole fucking month. What do you think of Achi? Interesting thing, Gustavo from Crypto Banter shielded initially, and it kind of follows because I was not understanding it much, because unfortunately I was not understanding Apu a lot. And recently I understood that Apu is the name of Pepe character in original Mad Fury series, and Achi is kind of the same thing to Weave. So yeah, it's definitely a huge narrative, because Weave is somewhat similar to the market cap of Apu, but Achi or Aki is definitely like way lower than the market cap of Apu. So it's definitely about the communities, about the holders as well. So it's just a great narrative to have in the first place. The token that I hold and that I see as better to Weave is Selfie. I was actually buying Selfie, I think, yesterday and today. So we will see what will be happening with Selfie. I saw Ansem buying essentially Selfie as well. So we will see. You can stake ND on Dear Dre Blast 50% APY. Yeah, this, as mentioned, Blast will be a Ponzi chain with all the API farming stuff and things like that. It should be just crazy. Let me try to close some tabs because I can see myself lagging a lot. Apologies one more time. But you pretty much just need to hear me talk and nothing else. Great content. Thanks for the Sneebu call. Sure. Thank you. Stan, is moving to Russia a good idea? It's very interesting how Russian propaganda works. Propaganda is something that historically they were very good at since like 15th, 16th century. People were asking for their tsars to come, and they were coming and raping and killing, and people were believing that they're coming as saviors. So you might go, you might check for yourself, but if you're from like free type of country, at the same time, if you're just not from out there, you might just feel alright. But yeah, it's up to you. Good afternoon. Stop watching Beat Boy to start watching Blood Boy. That's fucking funny. Alright. Nice to get you live, Stan. But yeah, speaking of Russia and this part of the world, you will definitely face traditional type of values. I'm not living in Russia myself. So yeah, it's hard to say at this stage. It's definitely cheap. Like if you're coming from the Western countries, it's definitely cheap. Nice to catch live, Stan. Your calls have been spot on this year. Sure, not all of them. I had a bunch of things that failed as well. Stan, you also said in one of your videos that Endian Blast will be between 500 million and 1 billion market cap in May, but it seems that won't be happening. What's your price target for Endy in June? Yeah, this might be a bit on the high end. 100 million, 150 to 100 million. We will see. Like I'm just holding this thing long term because for me it's the bet on the chain. And they essentially changed the date of the airdrop. That's why Blast thinks and Blast memes they're not doing well. But I do honestly believe that Blast will be winning the Ethereum Layer 2's race, which would mean that a bunch of liquidity will be coming to Blast. And we already see that like it's not something that I'm just coming like by myself like with some bullshit, right? Because we already see that the liquidity, total value locked on Blast is like top 2, I think. Between all of the layer 2s, only Arbitrum has more TVL, and it's like top 6 between all chains. It's more than on Base, and Base is being like pushed by everyone. So yeah, it's definitely a very interesting type of setup. So Endian Blast is a blue chip long-term hold for me. I think I will be right. I think it will be winning. I think it will be in billions. I think it will fuck any other similar type of coins on the long term, but we will be seeing. And I'm just holding. Is it worth investing in Endian Blast even though Endian ETH blowing up? It's up to you. Right now, I think it's a nice entry point for Endian Blast. With Endian ETH, I think that Max did a very nice job because we are still in the risk-off environment. Like people are scared shitless, and he was able to provide this type of safety because he's not anonymous, obviously, and like he's the CEO of the company. He's talking about these things, so he was able to provide this safety to people, and that's why I think it's blowing up. And he's also quite a nice deceiver in terms of like showing charts, technical analysis, things like that, copying things as well. Not copying, but like copying things as well. And he's new, so people think that he is clean and clear, but I was able to prove on some of my videos that it's unfortunately not the case. We will see what will be happening. As mentioned, for me, I don't think that the risk reward currently there, but he definitely was able to provide this feeling of safety for people, and that's why I'm just thinking on who is the influencer, who is the person that would be able to attract as much of retail as they can. And I think that there might be the case that Max is better focusing on people who know something about the market, because his content is not like very basic one in the first place. At the same time, he's explaining things well, so we will see. I'm betting on things around like people like Alex Becker, maybe Crypto Banter type of content as well, because he might be attracting a lot of people. Russia safer than Ukraine, probably. I've heard some things about Ukraine that people are living there currently, like, all right to a certain extent. What country are you from originally? Stan? I'm from Belarus. What your view on Parcel and Trap? PRSCL, I don't know much about their project. Trap. Alex Beta Gaming Play, first player shooter, should be doing well with gaming season coming back. Check it out, super low market cap, get in at the bottom. It's time the original bread on ETH wakes up, new community cover is done. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of things about the original bread on Ethereum. I'm not invested myself. Makes sense, it probably should be a higher valuation, and at the same time, with the growth in the original token, it should be going up with the market cap as well. And we are in Ethereum season. We have to understand we are in Ethereum season. We are not in Blast season. We are not in Base season. We are in Ethereum season. And some people will tell you to front run things. Be very careful with that, because you can always get liquidity. You can Yeah, I think I restarted. So let's continue. I want to launch Sui, but it's currently not looking good to me. Yeah, up to you. Sui might be a lagger, fortunately. Restart it. Long in Sui. Should be alright. Like, if you're patient, you should be doing very well, because Sui at the bottoms currently. Still think we'll see a new BTC all-time high next week? Yes, do think so. Please come to the point and don't repeat so much. How many Boba holders in the chat? One. Can't wait to see your real life-sized gold chain. I have a vision that this will be happening. Stan, can you make an update guide on leverage and what is a good coin to loan for long term? Alright, I will probably do that. Long term, just anything from Ethereum layer 2s currently, like Starknet, Arbitrum, Sui as well. Sui is definitely a good loan for long term. Even Pepe at this stage, like if you're conservatively long in Pepe currently, should be doing quite well. Retail will buy Pepe bread and other meme high caps. Yeah, I do think so, because they need safety. They need something more established. Ready for richest. Stream is lagging, sorry. Stan, can you make an update guide on leverage and what? Yeah, let me actually make a note on this. That's a very nice updated guide on leverage and what too long. Right, moving further. Can't even see you, bro. You can open previous videos and you can see me, right? That's a good time to risk. I wouldn't ape into Digion shit at the end. Yeah, and I'm aping into Digion shit currently. You should check out Scroll 2. I think their main meme has a potential to 100x. They have solid funding in layer 2. I think I was checking it out. I was not buying, but yeah, that strategy definitely should work to a certain extent. Stan Lark Davis said that alts will pump the most in 2 weeks following BTC top. Is it actually true? I heard it a few times, but don't believe it. Yeah, I think so, because alts are following Ethereum. We saw a drop on Bitcoin dominance already, and BTC should be doing all-time high. But yeah, I think it will be a bit weak. So it will probably start to surge down, just because of the fact that people will be selling their BTC and repositioning to Ethereum and altcoins, because they will also decide for themselves that it is a risk on environment, right? And currently when BTC is 67k, it's not a risk on an environment. Smart money, they understand this, and smart money are already like selling their BTC and repositioning to altcoins currently. I agree with Lark Davis currently on this as well, but the thing is that I said it at the end of the last month. What's your opinion on MAGA and the election this year? Yeah, I think these large politified coins, they are, honestly speaking, I think they're at the bottoms. I think they will be doing very, very well. I hold quite a nice position on Boden, and I think that we might be underestimating the politified tokens at this stage. I think like valuations, they will just get like very, very crazy, and yeah, I think that you should hold and buy, especially like large ones. You might think that the market cap is high already, but they should be going crazy. Indian base will explode when retail have simple access with new Coinbase wallet. So my bet with Indian Blast, and why I'm only betting on Indian Blast, and I think that like other copycats might be doing well to a certain extent, but the idea there is that it's first, it's yellow on yellow, so it's yellow on the yellow chain, and it's bet on the chain, and it's a focused bet because you don't have like large memes on Blast. Yeah, you have like Pac-Moon at this stage, but it's like a kind of community meme. The fully diluted valuation of Pac-Moon is way larger than the current market cap. People are receiving something for farming fantasy points. So really, you might say that Andy is the largest meme on Blast. And it's also like following this Pepper narrative, which is crazy in the first place. And yeah, with the whole chain winning Ethereum layer 2 bet, I do think it's just a better bet fundamental-wise. And I don't have an option to bet on Pac-Man, on the founder of Blast. And I do actually like Anton Blast team as well. Some people might say that they might be a bit slow, that they like lost their opportunities and things like that, but frankly speaking, it's all in the charts. Like the whole thing had to correct from 50 million. The run was alright. We are in consolidation currently. It all looks fine. If you would check out current fractal and current corrections that we see, it exactly copies the one that it had in the beginnings. In the beginning, when it was like it pumped to 10 million at the beginning, I was not even a holder at the whole thing, and then it went down as low as like 2 million, and I was buying around that time. So essentially, it follows like fully. So I think it's like actually it's one of the safest bets this cycle with the whole thing, even with the copycats, even with everything that's happened. It's just a very, very nice and safe bet. What do you think about Jupiter and Sol? Casino, if you want to invest into casino, and yeah, should be doing well because it just like a casino in the first place. So you're actually buying a stake in a casino. So it should definitely be doing well. And it's a better to Solana, which is the most degen thing. Jupiter should be doing well. It's like it's further on the risk curve than Solana itself, but it's not as far as meme coins, and you're kind of getting exposure to the whole narrative. And if you believe that people will be trading memes on Solana, you should be buying it. Stan, please, would it matter Indian Blast or ETH? What is the difference, please? The difference is that it's absolutely two different tokens on the blockchain with the different market caps. It's two different projects. Indian Blast was the first, and then ETH kind of copied the whole thing, and it was a dead project rebirthed from zero by a group of people buying a supply at the bottom. But they're supporting it nicely currently. It might be a safe bet betting on like their company and their influence and things like that currently at this stage. But I'm betting with Indian Blast on the chain in the first place, on Blast. Can we get price targets and time frame for Boba? Max had previously made a chart for 20x in the short term and 200x at the peak. I tend actually to agree with this. I tend to think that we will be seeing $20 billion from Boba this cycle, but it will definitely need to take over certain copycats. It will pretty much need to maybe overthrow like Indian ETH, but I kind of feel that Boba will be way larger because the market caps are similar, but liquidity on Boba is 1 million more at this stage. So we have to count these things. And we have things like Apple, but we also have to understand that liquidity actually rotates in crypto. So it's not bearish when there are some other projects like taking this liquidity. Obviously, it would be better if we did not have like Indian Ethereum. If we did not have Apple, it would be better for Boba because that liquidity will be left in Boba in the first place, right? But I do believe that Boba should be doing quite well. At the same time, like we are arguing with all these influencers, with all these projects. On the long term, it won't make any fucking sense anyway. We all will be rich if we are sitting in the coins that will actually go up. We all will have a bunch of money. There will be crazy surge of the liquidity. We will be all best friends, and that does not make sense, like a lot of sense at this stage. Boba Billions. What do you think about desync? Don't think of it much. Saw some influencers shilling them. Always cautious about influencers shilling something. Hey Stan, have you heard of Buba? Nah. What about Bird Dog on ETH? Don't know much of it as a degen beta play of this whole narrative. Might be doing well. So it might be like a degen beta play on Andy on Ethereum. Hey, have you checked out Dog Go to the Moon? The ticker is Dog. No, I was not checking out. Poor Russian people been getting done over for a long time. Well, they kind of accept it, so. Your bit rate low and lagging hard. Yeah, I'm sorry. Any markets other than memes that are hot? Ethereum layer 2s, gaming. I think gaming should be running. I think gaming as a narrative have the highest upside after memes, short term, just because it was consolidating for so much fucking time. And yeah, I think that's one of the most explosive things short term. What are the chances meme coin ETFs on NASDAQ by the end of 2025? I think, because a lot of people think currently that we will not be getting like a bunch of ETFs, I do think that we will be getting them. Because I do think that American taxpayers' dollars were already sold to Russian mafia on the interview of Pavel Durov and Tucker Carlson, where Pavel Durov was pro-Republican very much. And I do think that it was sold due to some confirmations that best case scenario ETF for TON will get approved in the US. And middle case scenario is that SEC won't fuck with TON, but SEC already won't be fucking with crypto following recent articles that were accepted. So yeah, I think if Trump will get elected, there will be quite a high chance of TON having an ETF. In terms of meme coins ETF, might be. They just care about essentially fees. So no wishes for them. Do you think it's worth earning from liquidity pools on Boba, Snip, or Dodo? Not sure. Up to you. I'm not an expert on earning from liquidity pools. Boba holding since February. Not sure if you mean Boba or Bobo. I hold all the coins Crash has plus also Boba. Yeah, it's a nice bet on Crash. That's definitely a nice bet. That's partially like my bet this cycle as well. I'm just pretty much betting on Crash. Lagging, I'm sorry. When is ETF decision time? Today, in a couple hours. Why I don't have proper internet connection? Get Starlink. It's not about internet. I think it's actually about internet. I was thinking it's about Mac in the first place. Well, it's crazy if it's about internet. Bro, your video lagging. I'm not showing anything on video, so no worries. But start of the stream, yeah. Probably not the best one, but that's something that we have currently. I will try to figure this out. Do you think NFT runes and other gimmick crypto tags will pump again when normies flood the market, or was it just a fad and we should wait for the next fad tag? Runes, I think, have a chance of pumping. They kind of were moving recently. NFTs, yeah, I think as well. These things, they're just around human psychology, because when you make a bunch of money, you want to show other people that you made a bunch of money, and what's the best way for you if not like showing off with your NFT. So I think at a certain stage, like NFTs, they usually pump the last, because at that age, at that point, everyone just has too much money and they want to show off. When is the Ethereum ETF decision time? Couple hours from here, like an ape, lol. Should we get airdrome? Might be a nice base play. Yeah, same as Jupiter. So if you're bullish on base and people traded memes on base, you might get into airdrome as well. Have you seen docs on ETH Pepe Predator narrative? No, I'm sorry. Hi from New York. Hey. Ethereum approved yet? Not sure. I'm not checking. I'm streaming. Hi, new decision should be in 3 hours. Right. Yeah, about that. The lag is insane. Got to sign out. No worries. Love your videos, but your internet is 3 dots. Yeah, makes sense. What do you think of Era? Told already. What's up with face cam? Freezed. OG first, oldest bread, community on fire. The lag makes the stream look like a Joe Biden simulator. Pause. Stan, do you think Snibo Mumu will pump? Snibo, I think yes. Mumu, interestingly, Mumu pumped. I thought that Mumu on ETH kind of dead, but it pumped. So as a degen better to Bobo Snibu, Mumu on ETH might definitely be pumping as well. Stan, can you please give your opinion about the upcoming Sui token unlocks? Don't have a lot of opinion on these things. I do think that they will be pumping this thing, and I do think it's quite like at the bottom currently. I don't think that they will be moving the price much down, allowing people to buy at the lows. Is Optimism a good investment? Short term with Ethereum layer 2, yes, and even long term as well, because it's like layer 2, so should be doing right. Calm down, people. We can still hear Optimism. Yeah. Do you think on blockchain? It's a test, guys. It's a test for you to be on stream, to receive alpha on stream, even through lagging. This is how hard you work. You work so hard. You're on this stream with a slideshow instead of video, with just sound, and you are here receiving your alpha. This is the attitude. These are. If you're on this stream, if you're on this stream currently, you are a winner. Calm down, people. Yeah, Optimism. Do you think Ton blockchain will gain popularity? Do you think getting low market cap Ton meme coin is better than saturated Rido? If it will survive, yes. Rido is just something that will most likely survive. And Russian-speaking countries, they're crazy about Ton already. They're buying, they're in the ecosystem. So most likely West will become exit liquidity for Ton and Ton guys. And Russian-speaking countries there, because not a lot of people are buying into Ton right now. But overall, yeah, I think it will be bullish. I think that they will be pumping Ton. They will not be doing, Durov won't be doing an interview and won't be present on the conference if he will not have any plans to pump Ton. Is ETF on Ethereum accepted? Not yet, but should be in a couple hours. What time do you think they will announce the ETF approval? It should be coming in 2 to 3 hours from now. Hey Stan, what do you think about Sol move after ETF news? Yeah, I think it should be moving. I think it should be moving once Ethereum will kind of end the move. Sol will be moving because Sol is the kind of big degeneracy of this market. It's like people's coin, degenerates coin, right? Any thought on Gauss copy trader bot for ETH and base? Don't know much about it. I'm sorry. Is Optimism good to invest too? Yeah, I think so. ETF approval or denial should be in 2 hours and 58, 3 hours. Stan, it's my first bull cycle. I really need a group to ask questions to talk to. Can you recommend one? I believe that yours is too advanced for hodlers. Mine is just paid. You can just join like a bunch of communities on the market, and some people would be up to respond to your questions. Yeah, just about you being active. So yeah, it's definitely a nice learning curve, but it's a very, very interesting one. Crypto go down due to the conflict rising between Israel and Iran and maintaining high rates because inflation, you say, and around the world. That's just narrative that they create you to explain the price action or create a narrative. That does not usually mean a lot of things. Beautiful man, thank you. Stan, handsome man, right? Beautiful is for a girl. Stan, do you think Optimism will perform? Yeah,